Here are 10 tips that you can use to become a better coach. Number 1, your word means everything. Number 2, encourage you to get 1% better every single day. Number 3, set goals. Number 4, create enemies. Number 5, what your future you would do. Number 6, you have to have resources and homework. Number 7, reset standards and push beyond. Number 8, play. And number 9, let them make mistakes. Number 10, Pavlov's dog, positive reinforcement. Okay, number 1, your word means everything. You need to make sure that what you say, you do. So, in a practice setting, if you say that you do not put your RSVP on the app that you have for a team app, and they don't do it, and every single time they don't do it, they have to run. If they don't RSVP, therefore, you have to make them run. That makes your word have value, right? Same goes with if a team loses in a drill against another team, and you say, okay, your punishment is 10 push-ups, right? You have to make sure that they do the 10 push-ups, and you don't forget about it. Therefore, your word has value, and then they'll put value on your words. And guess what? When you tell them that they're going to get better by doing something, then they will trust you, because when you tell them what's right and your value follows behind it, you will get what you need to get done, okay? Number 2, encourage getting 1% better every single day. 1% better every single day is achievable. It's something you can do every single day, right? Sometimes they'll get 5%, 10%, sometimes they'll get, 0.5%. But if you strive for 1% better every single day on everything that they do, it's something that's small enough to hit, but big enough to where they can actually achieve a goal, right? And then once they get 1% better and that just stacks and stacks and stacks, you'll have an exponential growth of skills throughout their entire sports career as a coach. Number 3, set goals. Set long-term goals, set short-term goals, set goals during practices, okay? Make sure they're SMART goals, okay? SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? Specific, be specific on what the goal is. If you're trying to have a soccer kid juggle 10 times in a row, right? That's specific, right? Is it measurable? Yes, 10. Quantity 10 in a row, right? Is it achievable? Maybe for, a 9-year-old kid, it's not achievable. Maybe for a 13-year-old kid, it is achievable, right? What specifically can you measure with that kid that is actually achievable? If it's only 2 in a row and the kid has never done 2 in a row, go to the kid and be like, hey, do you think you can get 2? And if he says, yes, I think it's achievable, that's what that means. R, relevant. You should not do a cupcake eating contest for a juggling competition. No one cares how many cupcakes you eat unless you're on a cupcake eating competition team, okay? Make it relevant. So if it's soccer, it's soccer. If it's football, it's football. It's hockey, hockey, right? Make it relevant. And T, time bound, right? At the end of practice, can you do it? By the end of the season, can you do it? By next year, can you do it, right? By the next 10 minutes, can you do it, right? All of these goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and they're time bound, right? So if you say by the end of practice, I need you to complete 500 juggles, right? Is that achievable, right? Is that measurable? Yeah, well, you can sit there and you can hit it up and you can get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Even if you drop it, you just count it from there, right? Right? Is it achievable in the time bound that you set? If it's not, right, change the goals, make them adaptable, right? Make the time smaller, time bigger. Make the achievement measurable larger or smaller. You want it to be something that they can actually do. So that way, if they do it, they become 1% better, which goes back to our other goal, okay? Number 4, create enemies, okay? So when I say this, I want you to essentially create someone to beat. Imaginary perfect person that you're going to beat, okay? Whether that is opponent you've already faced and lost to, opponent you beat barely in a tournament or in a game or whatever, create an enemy that's the perfect enemy, right? When you're in practice, you can say that person from X team is doing all of the work. Do you think they're working right now? Do you think that they woke up and are working at 8 a.m. also? And if their answer is yes, then be like, okay, now you have to do that also, right? You want to put it on them to create enemies to say, hey, guess what? You need to go beat X person because they're doing the work right now and you're not, right? Oh, do you think that this person here is going to do you working hard at practice and is actually going to be working harder than you? Yes? Well, work harder, right? Therefore, you can beat them in said matchup when that happens, okay? It's a lot easier when you lose a game, which is why losing is so important because you can create enemies very easily. Be like, okay, do you think we can beat that team? Yes. Okay, how do we do it? Well, we work hard at today's training to beat that team. And always give them a reminder. Hey, we lost to this team. We need to beat them. So let's focus today on our energy and put it towards the game to beat them, even if you're not playing them for another month, right? every single time you bring that up, you give them fired up. And then when they're fired up, they play harder. When they play harder, they get better, and then they develop. And then you have a great team atmosphere, okay? Number 5, what would future you do, okay? Emphasize this to kids who don't really care about, right, those enemies or whatever, and they just want to be, a star on some team, right? Say they're on the second team and they want to go to the first team. Well, what would future you on the first team do today to get on that first team from the second team, right? Or what would that kid do now when he's 14 to be an 18-year-old to go to state competition, to be the state, goal scorer on a free kick, or make that final run to get a tackle on defense, right? Or what would that future person do in college? Or what would that future person do in a professional or semi-professional setting, right? What would future you do? Okay, and what do you think that person did at 14 years old, 9 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old? Okay, do that, right? Okay, he's going to work hard, and he tried really hard, he practiced really hard every single day. Good, do that, right? So put the future you of that little kid or whoever you is that you're trying to develop and be like, what are they going to do now to become that version, okay? Then that's how you train that person to develop to be that person later on, right? Number 6, you have to give resources and homework. A lot of the people only train an hour and a half twice a week, or maybe an hour and 15 minutes twice a week because the coaches are yapping too much or whatever, or there's, people don't show up on time. You have to give resources for people to do work outside of the current time slot that you're in. Maybe the field availability is not that great, okay? You could always do your sport indoors at home, but sometimes parents or kids just don't know what to do. Give them the opportunity and information to know what to do, right? So you want to say, hey, go and do these footwork skills, and you can do it in a 2-foot by 2-foot area, right? Take the clothes that you didn't fold and that are on your floor, take them, throw them on your bed, create a 2-foot by 2-foot area, do the work that you said to do, and then you will become a better player. Again, right? Do you want to be a future star? Well, a future star, what does he do? He works at home, right? He gets his work done. He does his skill work, right? And then he goes to training, and then he gets his teamwork through training, which is mostly what that is. And then he works double the amount of time and works 6 hours per week, 8 hours per week, 10 hours per week. And then the only person that just goes to practice only works 3 hours a week, which is 2 hour-and-a-half practices, okay? So give them homework, give them opportunities to do them, and they will excel. Because if you don't give them anything, they won't have any resources to know what to do, and then they'll just think that training is enough, which it's not if you want to be at a higher level, okay? Number 7, reset your standards and push beyond. So you have a kid, he's juggling, say, a soccer ball, make that as a reference. He wants to juggle it 3 times, and he finally gets 3 times. Good, applaud, positive reinforce, good, you did a great job. Okay, let's get 4, right? Keep pushing beyond, always. Every single time. He's not going to remember that he got 3 when he wants to get 4. And then once he gets 10, he's going to be like, oh my God, I need to get 15. And that's good. That's what development is. You want to completely, slowly increase and push beyond. If you always say, hey, 3 juggles is good, and you don't have to do more than 3, that person will never develop and get better, right? Push beyond. Always reset your standards. And when you go up, just reset them back to what they were. If you have 3 juggles, cool, now I'm doing 4. That's my new standard. That's what I'm holding myself to. Once I get 4, cool, I'm going to get 5. And then if you go from 4 to 5, that's a lot more than 1% every single day. So if you take 2 weeks to get there, that's fine. But if you have 100 juggles and you want to get 101 juggles, that's 1%. That's just math. Number 8, play, okay? You want to have these kids playing as much as possible. As a coach, you should try to minimize the amount of time that you are actually talking to these kids and get your points out very quickly, okay? You want to try to talk to them quick, give them the answers they kind of need, or poke at them, right? It's kind of adjust to what you're looking for, send them out to play again, okay? Make them make mistakes, make them kind of think about what you're looking for, okay? Give them ideas, subtle hints, right? They're not going to know your questions because they're not in your head. They don't know what you're thinking, okay? They don't know if you're thinking about offense or you're thinking about defense, right? So you could say, hey guys, we're working on defense today, okay? I want you guys to work through this 3v2 situation and how to get out of it, okay? Boom. You tell them 10 seconds, spiel, play 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, switch it up. And then you kind of bring them in and talk to them again, right? But you want to make it short, quick, concise, and you want them to play. Especially with the younger kids, the more they play, the more they're going to develop, the more they're going to have fun, And then the more they have fun, the more they enjoy the sport and they want to get better. And then as they get older, they're going to want to put more work in. And then you give them the resources to do that. Okay? So play, play, play. Let them play. Number 9, let them make mistakes. A big thing that I've seen in training that helped me a ton was, okay, guess what? I'm going to give this kid a 2v1 situation. I'm not going to tell him anything of how to do it. I'm just going to say 2v1, you go score on that goal, you defend this one, and go, right? And then they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm not doing well. Like, we're losing. We're not doing well. Like, what's going on? And then you give them the solution to the answers. But you have to let them make mistakes first and then also let them succeed too. So if they make mistakes, they learn from the mistakes. They learn, okay, wait a second. Yeah, in a 2v1, if I dribble towards the other person, they can defend both of us instantly. And then I lose, okay? And you let them make that mistake. Don't give them the answers right away, right? And then when you talk about it, you explain why separating is better. Because guess what? More space equals more time on the ball. More time on the ball, guess what? Now you can attack and you can have space, right? Let them make mistakes and then you correct them on their mistakes and show them opportunities. But the biggest thing is you want to show them decisions that they can make. You don't want to make the decisions for them, okay? Let them make the decisions and become a coach that helps make decisions in scenarios. Because they're the ones playing on the field. They're the ones making the decisions. If you're not their coach next year and they don't know what to do, that's not a good coach. That's not good development, right? Help them make decisions and figure out scenarios and keep repetitioning those scenarios, and they're going to become great players. That's how it works. Let them make mistakes, okay? Number 10, positive reinforcements. Pavlov's dog has shown through psychology that this is the number one way that people actually learn, and they learn a positive behavior when they get positively reinforced, okay? So saying good job and kind of brushing off the times that they make a mistake because they know they made a mistake. If a kid sits there and he's a goalie and he just goes like this and he doesn't do anything and the ball goes right in the net, he knows that he probably made a mistake. You don't need to sit there and say, why didn't you save it? You should just say, hey, try hard. It's okay. Keep trying hard. And when he tries hard and he makes a save next time, then you positively reinforce him and you say, hey, great save. I'm so glad you made that save. That was awesome. You worked really hard on that one. Okay? Sometimes you got to just ignore this stuff and just positively reinforce all the good behaviors, especially hard work. Hard work is the number one thing you always positively reinforce because hard work cannot be trained, right? You cannot sit there and be like, do this drill to have hard work. Hard work is just hard work. That's just brutally honest. You just got to go straight at it. Always positive reinforce that, okay? So that's my 10 tips. Number 1, your words mean everything, right? Number 2, encourage getting 1% better every day. 3, set goals. 4, create enemies. 5, what your future you would do. 6, you have to give resources / homework, right? Number 7, reset your standards and push beyond. And 8, play, play, play. 9, let them make mistakes. And 10, Pavlov's dog, positive reinforce good behavior that you want to see as a coach. Cool. Make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.